Continuing with our series of reports on the offshore island of蘭嶼, otherwise known as the Pearl of the East, which has long been celebrated for its pristine natural environment and the abundant wildlife that inhabits here. The island of蘭嶼has countless crisscross small creeks that serve as the gathering points for the island's wild and plant life. However, as part of the government's reconstruction plans after Typhoon Tenbin, many of these previously untouched creeks are now being dredged and fitted with cement dikes to prevent flooding in the face of future typhoons. Yet the work are considered by many residents as overly invasive and destructive to both the land and the animals and vegetation that live nearby.
As of today, nowhere in the mountains will you find illegal development or deforestation as a result of these projects.
What was once a wild creek has been widened and boxed in by concrete dikes, turning it into basically a drainage channel. Work like this has been happening over蘭嶼for the past 6 months to a year.
They are not restoring the waterways so much as destroying them. That small creek, why do they have to widen it so much, ruining it all over again?
The cementation of the creeks and rivers is an extremely destructive act and does massive damage to the wildlife and plant life that depend on the waterways. Also remember, tourists come to蘭嶼to see the natural habitat.
With the cementation of these streams and creeks, the shrimp and coconut crabs that formerly inhabited such creeks have disappeared. Another native to蘭嶼is the green sea turtle, which like clockwork will visit the beaches of Ba Dai Bay every summer to lay its eggs.
The light pollution there is really serious, but we have seen that every 4 years there occurs a peak in the numbers of turtles coming ashore to lay eggs.
However, mud collected from the dredging of creeks has been deposited on the coastline, where it is having a negative impact on beaches and the green sea turtles. The stream, 2 to 3 kilometers length, used to have vegetation growing up and down both sides. So what happened to the natural makeup of the river?
The dredging of the waterways, all of it is planned and carried out in accordance with ecological engineering methods.
In 2012, the central government gave the Taitung government approximately $2.3 million to carry out 5 water and soil conservation and restoration projects. And the Council of Agriculture, Soil and Water Conservation Bureau was budgeted $6 million to carry out 9 water and soil restoration and dredging projects in蘭嶼streams and creeks. For the residents of蘭嶼, it sometimes feels like their island is being inundated in concrete.
Where there is damage, we build there. After building, the question is then how to introduce more traditional and ecological engineering methods that everywhere can accept.
Many of the projects being carried out are in uninhabited areas where no lives are at risk. Residents wonder, is the government just spending money to show that it is doing something?
When the volume of water in the creeks gets high, only then do they become actual rivers. So the question is, do we really need to spend hundreds of millions of dollars on dredging these creeks? I don't think so.
On the heels of蘭嶼's tourism boom has come an uptick in the tourism-related construction. Although for some, this is a positive sign for the local economy. However, such progress also brings new pressures to bear on the environment. Now with the dredging of creeks and the altering of the natural waterways that countless wildlife depended on, in the future will蘭嶼still merit the name Pearl of the East?